Chet Holmgren was one of the most anticipated players of the 2022 draft, but after injuring his foot and missing his entire rookie season, a lot of people forgot about him. He was considered the unicorn of the league before 7'5" Victor Wembanyama was drafted. Chet was one of the most versatile 7-footers we've seen. He can score from the wing just as easily as he can posting up. Then on top of it, in his 1 year in college, he shot almost 40% from 3. He's a score-first big man that can score from really anywhere on the floor. That means at 7 feet tall, he can create his own shot and can even get others involved when he sees the defense collapse. He's a solid rebounder despite his weight and really holds it down in the paint on defense. Just like a lot of the other tall and skinny guys in the NBA, what Chet lacks in weight gets completely made up for with his wingspan. Combine that with his underrated athleticism and you got yourself an extremely good shot blocker. And thanks to this year's Summer League, he's been giving people a sneak peek of what's to come. In one of the few games he's played so far, he scored 25 points, grabbed 9 rebounds, and blocked 5 shots. He looked exactly like what everybody was hoping he was gonna look like. And more importantly, his foot doesn't look like it's bothering him at all. So to be completely recovered from his injury and back to being the player we all hoped he would be is a really good sign. He almost slip-screened his way to those 25 points. Then when he actually was working in the paint and being sent to the free throw line, he was able to knock down 7 of his 8 free throws. So to have a big that can shoot from all over the floor, including the free throw line, is a huge deal for late game situations. The Thunder were just exposing the Pacers defense, just spamming pick and rolls and getting a bucket almost every time. He was doing his job and getting rewarded over and over again. He barely even had to work to get those buckets. And when you're getting easy buckets on offense, that leads to giving you even more energy for defense. Which is what happened to Chet because he had 5 blocks, including a crazy block in transition. I'm gonna keep mentioning that shot blocking ability too, because that's one of the biggest parts of his game in my eyes. The first game he played in the actual Summer League this year wasn't as crazy, but was a sneak peek of what was about to come. He had 16 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. So another double-double and another game with 2 or more blocks. In the Salt Lake City Summer League, he played in 2 games where he struggled to shoot the ball, but everything else looked really good. He was definitely a little rusty, but you also gotta remember this is the longest he's gone without playing an actual game of basketball since he started, so it's gonna take a second. We also got to see him kick it in gear when the actual Summer League started, and even these games don't truly matter for a guy like him. The one thing in his game that wasn't rusty at all though was that shot blocking ability. In the game against the Jazz alone, he blocked multiple dunks and even blocked Keontae George, who is another guy I like a lot. The thing that I've noticed about Chet that makes him such an elite shot blocker is the way he keeps his body completely vertical. When he goes to block a shot, especially a dunker drive coming towards him, he's jumping straight up with both hands in the air as high as he possibly can get them. So unless you're able to dunk on an 11-foot rim with ease, it's almost impossible to avoid getting blocked if Chet times it right. In his very first games back, he was showing that shot creating ability I was talking about earlier. What separates Chet on offense from a lot of other people is that he can catch the ball on the wing and drive like any other player to get a bucket. But he can also drive and turn it into some type of post move. If he's driving and ever gets cut off, he just turns his back to the basket and either spins or does a drop step. So as a defender, you have to be ready to guard all of that on any given drive. Then when he's feeling his shot, it makes him that much harder to guard. But he was doing this in last year's Summer League too, so everybody that watched that isn't surprised by this at all. Which you already would have known if you watched him at Gonzaga, but his Summer League debut last year confirmed it. Another thing that really excites me about Chet is that he's playing with a really good Thunder team. They were the 10 seed in the really competitive West without him the entire season, so adding him along with a few other players definitely creates a playoff team. Playing alongside Shea and Josh Giddey, he's going to be getting so many easy buckets. Whether it's that slip screen that killed the Pacers in the Summer League or pop-out jumpers, it's going to be hard to guard between the two. Josh Giddey is already an incredible passer, so adding Chet to that rotation gives him even more options. And the same thing goes for Shea. He opens up the floor for everybody else and brings paint protection very few players in the league can provide. From what I've seen from him so far, he looks extremely comfortable even in high pressure or double team situations, which he has shown for a long time, but it looked like he was scoring with ease. He's only going to get better as he actually starts to play in real games, but that year of sitting and slowly practicing with the team without a doubt helped him a lot. He's not a rookie joining a brand new team. He knows all the staff and how the Thunder operate. All he has to do now is play basketball. Chet even still has the opportunity to win the Rookie of the Year award since he didn't play a single game last season. The Rookie of the Year competition is quite literally going to be the battle of the NBA unicorns. There's other players in the league that could win the award also, but imagine if it came down to just them two. The last thing he needs to do to have a successful NBA career is to stay healthy, which is arguably the most important part. You can be the most talented player in the world, but if you're hurt, then there's literally nothing you can do. Hopefully the foot injury is just a one-time thing, and let's also hope all the supposed unicorns will be exactly what they're supposed to be. Chet is still a very raw player, but get some games under his belt and I think he'll be just fine. And all the people that forgot about him will soon realize how good he can really be. I'm very close to 1,000 subscribers, so please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, it would mean a lot.